అందరికీ నమస్కారములు. నమో నమః. Today we are going to start a new topic, that is Shodasa Samskarams by Dr. Visalakshi garu. She is continuing her lectures, and this will go on for about 4 or 5 sessions. We will start this with Prarthana by Aditi. Aditi, please. Your voice is not coming out.
Sorry. Shuklam Bharadaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatame Sada. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
ధన్యవాదములు. Now let us request Visalakshi garu to start the webinar, please.
Om Sri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Om Sri Parvati Rajarajeshwarabhyam Namaha. Om Sri Metha Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Sri Mahasaraswatye Namaha. Om Sivaya Gurave Namaha. Om Namah Shivaya cha Namah Shivaya. Om Sri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namo Namaha. Good evening to all of you. Today onwards, we are trying to know about Shodasa Samskaras for 5 days. So first we'll know what is meant by Samskara and what are the Shodasa Samskaras. In briefly, first in 1 or 2 lines and then a little in detail. So there are 48 Samskaras or 40 Samskaras according to different sages and different Gruhya Sutra Granthas. Even in them, there are differences. 4 or 5 together are called as one samskara according to one sage, and different sages a little differently. But mostly all of us follow Apastamba Gruhya Sutras. So, according to the difference of Dharma Shastras, a little may be different, difference may be there, but the 16 samskaras, the Shodasa samskaras, are commonly followed by almost all Sanatana Dharmanuyayis. So now we'll know what are the names of all these Shodasa samskaras. First one is Garbhadhana samskara, second Pumsavanam, then Simanta Unnayanam. Fourth one is Jata Karma. Then fifth one is Namakarana. Namakarana, Nishkramana, Annaprasana, Chuda Karma, Karnaveda. Then Aksharabhyasa Samskara, Upanayanam, Samavartanam or Snataka Samskara. Then Keshanta Samskara, that is also called as Godana Samskara. Then Veda Vratas or Brahma Yajnas. Then Vivaha Samskara, and last one is Antyeshti Samskara. These are the Shodasa Samskaras all of us are following. Now, the first one, Garbha Adhana, they say Garbhadhana Samskara. This is the first Samskara to the Jiva, who is about to enter into the womb of a mother, whom he might have selected as befitting to him to take a birth as human being. So this Garbhadhana Samskara will be performed only once in the life. It is performed after the marriage to purify the womb of the bride to become worthy of getting a good progeny, to make the womb ready to receive with Vedic mantras. With Veda mantras, they purify that. Then Pumsavanam is a ritual conducted at the 3rd month of pregnancy with the wish of making the embryo a male child, a son, with the desire of getting a son. Simanta, mostly it is the most important ritual, we can say, before the birth of the child, to protect the mother and to be born child, wishing normal delivery. And this Simantam would be celebrated as a festival also, and to make and happy and pleasant the atmosphere and the mood of that pregnant girl, lady. So these three are prenatal samskaras. Now start the childhood samskaras, when the baby is born, just about to take birth, and immediately after taking birth. During that period, Jata Karma samskara would be done by the father first and parents together after birth. Then it starts just before the birth of the child and after the birth of the baby. So the father gives several danas, charities. Danas gives before Jata Ashocha comes to them on the due to the birth of the baby. Then on the 11th day after Puriti Snana, they again do this Jata Karma. Now, fifth samskara is Namakarana, naming the child. This is performed mostly on the 11th day itself or on 21st day of the birth of the baby. Along with this, parents celebrate cradle ceremony by keeping the child in the cradle. Then Nishkramana. So this is sixth samskara. It is taking the child to Yajnasala, that is taking out, bringing the child out of the house to get the baby slowly get accustomed to the nature, sunlight and all. Now, seventh one is Annaprasana, to make the child swallow something other than mother's milk, and keeping the prasada annam, paramannam, we say on the tongue of the child for the first time. So along with this, parents celebrate a sort of entertainment Vastu Pradarsana program also, and allowing the child to touch anything coming crawling from a little distance. Then eighth one is Chuda Karma or Chaula Samskara. This is removing the hair of the baby that came to him or her by birth. Puttu ventrikalu uttiyuta, as we say, removing. Now, Karnaveta Samskara. This is ear piercing samskara, and along with it, the girl babies will get done the nose piercing also. Then 10th one is Akshara Abhyasa Samskara, making the child read and write the letters for the first time. It is most sublime samskara, which is very much needed for all human beings. Then Upanayana samskara, the most sacred and holy samskara, where Brahmopadesha would be done to the child by his father, who is Guru himself, and also the priest will be there, who the father makes him wear Yajnopavita. This samskara brings the child to near Guru, approach the Guru, who makes him get the real knowledge, Brahma Jnana. So by this, the child becomes Brahmachari after Upanayana samskara. Then Samavartana Snataka samskara. This is third samskara or the function conducted after the student completes his education. And when the master declares that Acharya should declare that the disciple's education is completed, then with the permission of the master, the brahmachari has to enter into Grihasthasrama. Then at that time, the Guru gives his final advice. So now 13th is Keshanta Samskara or Godana Samskara. This is the samskara of removing the hair that grows on the cheeks and chin of a boy. At that time, he has to donate a milky cow with the calf to the Guru, his master, his Acharya. So it is also called as Godana Vrata. Similarly, a sort of samskara is performed and celebrated when a girl becomes mature. Then 14th is Veda Vratas or Brahma Yajnas. This is the samskara performed before the marriage of Brahmachari, while in Brahmacharya Vrata at Gurukula. So this is actually it takes 4 years time. So this is called as observing Veda Vratas, certain Yajnas. So during 4 years, each yajna, for 1 year, the student has to study. So by 4 years, he can completely master over them. Then comes Vivaha Samskara, by which the Brahmachari becomes Gruhastha, enters into Gruhastha Asrama, celebrating the marriage to Vara and Vathu and bringing them into Gruhastha Asrama. The best among 4 ashramas, because this is the samskara which celebrated the keeping for the keeping up of the lineage, the dynasty, and also because this ashrama, Grihastha people, they give a sort of resort support to all the people who are in all 3 other ashramas. So this is the best one among 4. Now, Antyeshti Samskara, this is the last rites done to a person by his son when he or she, mother or father, leave the body, when they leave this body and go away. Thus, these samskaras would be performed by the grandmothers and grandfathers, celebrate first 3 samskaras to the to be born child and after birth child. Then after birth, when the baby takes birth, then mother and father, they celebrate to their children, and when they are babies, and also they grow up to youth also, the parents celebrate. Then the teacher Acharya also celebrates. Then lastly, when they leave the body, the jiva, then the son performs, the son or sons perform the last rites. Now let us know what is meant by samskara actually. The word samskaram is formed from the root kru, to do, with the upasarga samyak, means good, properly, very nicely, correctly. Samyak karanameva samskaranam, we say to do good is samskaranam. So samskaram means purifying. It is removing the sins and defects that exist in chitta, the place where mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara, we say these 4 together are called as antakarana. So the memories, the vasanas of previous births would be clinging and stored in the chitta. So that chitta should be purified. So they come along with the jiva successively from several births. So it is called as samskara. The word samskara appears in Rigveda mantras for the first time. Then Jaimini, Purva Mimamsa Sutras also mention about samskara. Later in all Gruhya Sutras they are given, and Apastamba Gruhya Sutras we are following. Samskaras are rituals related to Agama Shastra. These Shodasa Samskaras are done to the Jiva, starting from before the birth of Jiva, continuing at several stages during the birth, and at the end, last rites would be performed. So in this world, these samskaras are performed only to human beings out of 84 lakhs of living creatures, living beings. Because the life of human beings is so great that the human body, Manava Upathi, alone is capable of getting moksha. So it is a Jivatma that is born as a bird or animal, or enjoys good or bad fruits of the works done in the previous births, and also to recite the mantras, to pray God, to do manana, sravana, manana, nidhichasana, and all the, and to talk, speak, walk, to stand, sit, only human beings are eligible. So these samskaras would be done only to them and not to any other living beings. So, of course, Gajendra Mokshana, Gajendra, and then Sri Kalahastiswara, Sri Kalahasti, they are all, of course, animals, and they got liberation also. Those such samskaras are not there. So the Upathi, normally Manava Upathi is eligible to be samskriyate, as we say, done this samskara. So because Jantunam Narajanma Durlapam, says Sankara Bhagavatpada, and of course everybody. So the before birth itself, the mother's womb is purified, then the jiva is purified, and then after taking birth also, at step by step, the masters, the acharyas, parents, they guide this person, the jiva, who is born as a male or female child, to grow with all samskaras and lead a very pious, sanctified, cultured life. So, while the jiva is in the womb of mother, of course, he experiences the consequences of previous births and all. That is called as actually Garbhavasa Naraka. Even that is spoken as an experience that would be experienced, that Naraka, that is suffering. So when the jiva is at that stage, jiva prays God that I will never repeat the wrong deeds which I might have done in the previous births. Otherwise, there is no need for the jiva to take birth at all. So please kindly let me take birth normally, happily, come down. Let me come out of this womb, which is very dark and very difficult for the baby that is about born to be baby to be there. So cries a lot, the Shastras say. So with much remorse and lamentation, they pray God. But after taking birth, they say the Maya overpowers and they forget the past and start leading and doing the karmas as per the results of the previous deeds, as per the prarabdha which he has brought along with him out of Sanchita. So before jiva enters the womb of the mother's womb will be purified and cleaned with certain Vedic mantras, because Veda mantras got mantras itself means magical power. In fact, the Manana Traita iti mantra, we say Veda mantras got very spiritual, great power which purifies. Of course, befitting to the samskaras only and befitting to the vasanas of the mother and child also, of course. So this Atma, the Jiva enters into it when the womb is made ready. Just as the house, suppose we want to enter into a new house, first we clean that and made ready, and then only we do puja and then enter into the house. Similarly, the Jiva also similarly enters into that womb which is very much purified and all. Gautam Maharshi said in Dharma Shastra Granthas, Gautama Dharma Shastra, says that there are 40 samskaras altogether. Chatvarimshat samskara. Some others said that there are 48 samskaras. So out of them, we all are following only Shodasa, 16 samskaras mentioned in our Apastamba Gruhya Sutras. We compulsorily follow all these 16, all Hindus. That is all Sanatana Dharmaniyais. We are observing them with the same scientific approach. In fact, all these samskaras got very good scientific, rational reason behind them, not just depending upon the beliefs which came traditionally. So whatever our sages gave us, they are all for the welfare of us, and behind them, the spiritual, scientific, rational, socially connected, and individual health, and so many points would be taken care by the Maharshis, and with all these points they say. So whatever are given to us by our Rishis in our Shastras, we have to follow because they are for our own good. Whatever methods are observed by our ancestors in the olden days, in them our perfect health and Shastriyata is there. Whatever is given in Shastra, that we have to follow. And Vaijnanikata is also mixed along with spiritual well-being of the jivas, of all of us. So in the modern, now at this present age, all the scientists also, they are proving what all our sages said, they are all true. After doing a lot of experiments with so many machines and all, now they are proving them. Is my voice audible?
Yes, it is audible.
Somebody said no sound. Okay. The Shodasa Samskaras are performed to girls and boys, that is both men and women, but one or two maybe especially for boys and one for specially girls separately. And all others are common. Just as the moon when shines with Shodasa Kalas as a full moon, similarly when man becomes perfect, when all these Shodasa Samskaras are done to him or her. So it is very essential for us to suppose when we take any copper bowl or something, we clean that with so many either brick powder or nowadays pitambar, etc., and clean them, then it shines a lot. Similarly, our jiva also must be purified whenever the time needs, as per our Maharshis and Shastras. So the Upadhis and also Jiva, both should be purified. So according to Varnasrama Dharmas, we do all these. So the rituals, all these rituals which we are following and all these Shodasa Samskaras, they are for the physical, mental and spiritual purification and well-being of all human beings, all of us. So the greatness of all these rituals is to unite all human beings, all Sanatana Dharmanuyayis who are present here on this earth at all, because all of them follow all these Shodasa Samskaras. Certainly, maybe a little differences as per their Prantiya Vedas or language differences or customs and traditions. But all these are definitely they are being followed. Then the Panchamaha Yajnas are considered as samskaras according to certain sages. This is Sapta Soma Samskaras, Sapta Havir Yajnas, Sapta Pancha Yajnas. They are all called as samskaras. Havir Yajnas, Sapta Paka Yajnas, they are also called as samskaras and all. So there are a little differences. Haradattacharya said something and some others said a little. Harita Smriti says with minor differences, of course. But now the samskaras, first one is Garbhadhana Samskara, now we are speaking, and that is to purify the womb of the mother before the pregnancy, before the pregnancy comes, before the jiva enters into mother's womb. Now it is first one. Second one is regarding this Garbhadhana Samskara, we say actually Prajaye Gruhametinam, because the marriage is done with the very purpose of getting children. So to keep up the progeny, to keep up the lineage, the Vamsha should be prolonged always. So the children are necessary. So for getting children, one the male and female, they must get married. So Prajaye Gurhamethinam is our concept, Sanatana Dharma. And also why we wish to get male child for the first time is because the Pitru Runa should be cleared off. So for that sake, so the ritual done for the purification is Garbhadhana Samskara, the sacrament of purifying the womb with powerful mantras and all. So even this taking birth of the child is also considered according to our Upanishads and Vedas as Samhita, Maha Samhita they say. Mata Purva Rupam, Pita Uttara Rupam, Preja Santihi, Prejananagum Santhanam iti Athi Prejam they say. So it is not just unlike others concept. Marriage is a sort of yajna. So in our tradition in Veda Samskruti, Santana Utpatti is considered as yajna, not just physical enjoyment or bond between girl and boy. So now when the feelings and minds of wife and husband, they are very pious, mutually they are with love and respect towards each and everyone, everyone and both of them, then the children they get also would be very healthy and they would be born with good intelligence and noble ideas, good ethical values and all. So both of them should always have mutual love and regard, respect over each other and mutual cooperation. It's very essential for the successful growth of the children after birth. Then second one is Pumsavana. This samskara is performed for only the first pregnancy, not at any other times later on. So this samskara which makes the Garbhastha Pinda to turn into a male child before turning. So this would be done mostly during the first 10 days time of third month. So at that time, the male or female, that would be decided by Paramatma. So at that time, when this Pumsavana Samskara is done, then automatically that embryo, that fetus, as we say, turns into a male child in the womb. So this Pumsavana Samskara takes care of that. So on this occasion, this is very auspicious occasion. Of course, nowadays no people are following mostly, but rarely now also there are people who are following certain things. In the olden days, when children are not born, they used to do Putrakameshti, Yaga and all. Certainly when we do with the desire, pray gods for a purpose of dharmika, dharma, definitely the gods bless us with our wishes. So for doing this Pumsavana, the scriptures say that by doing so, a child, that is this Pumsavana Samskara, a boy would be born with proper health. He would be born very healthy and strong. So the mixture of fruits, the fruits of banyan tree, marichettu, as we say, the fruits would be, should be made powder, and then black grams, minimulu, as we say, and barley, yavalu. All these three should be packed in a cover or something and in a cloth. And the girl, pregnant girl, should smell that. So that smell itself, the smell should go inside the stomach, and then later that should be cooked, and the girl has to eat that. So by eating that, the fetus increases properly and embryo will grow very perfectly, and then the child would be born with normal delivery. Then Srimanta, we say Srimanta Unnayanam. This rite is actually, among these three, this Simanta is very auspicious one, and which is connected with social activity, we can say. We invite all our relatives, friends and all, and the pregnant girl will enjoy a lot this by doing this Simanta. This would be mostly done either during the 5th month or 7th month or 9th month pregnancy of the girl. Mostly it would be done in her parents' house. Her in-laws should come to parents' house and do this, and then they have to take it should be done at the house of the brides, that is her in-laws' house. Her mother and father and relatives should come to her in-laws' house, her house, and celebrating this Simanta, they have to take their daughter to their house for delivery. Then on a very good day, even her mother-in-law and father-in-law, along with their relatives, they also should go to her parents' house, and there again they do in the same manner. That would give a sort of mutual relationship. The bond and friendship relationship would be very in a very friendly manner, by which this wife and husband, the girl and boy Varavatu, they can lead very happy life peacefully with mental happiness. So all this we know, and at the time of this Simanta, the pregnant wife will be enjoying this Simantunna in a festival, because that is done specially for her. So on that day, her husband, both of them take holy bath in the morning, of course, and worship Kuladevatas, Ishtadevatas and all. And after that, the husband should comb the hair of his wife, and he should comb and make the hair, this part, papita, as we say, he has to make it part. And then we say the thorn of hedgehog, mullapandi, as we say in Telugu, that would be a sort of thorn, and with that thorn, a straight line he should draw from her navel part to straightly up to this Sahasrara. So by doing that with that particular thorn, her body would be stimulated, and Garbhasanchi, as we say, uterus, that uterus would become fit and proper, would be in a very correct position. The baby would be in correct position for normal delivery, and also it stimulates her nervous system, and all her nerves and muscles would be in proper condition so that the normal delivery can occur. So by nowadays, of course, nobody are doing all these, and hospitals and sisters, they are taking care. But in the olden days, they used to follow what all are given in the Shastras. So accordingly, all these deliveries also take place very normally. Mostly normal deliveries occur. Suppose anything happens at any time, and then suppose any, sometimes the baby would be turning reverse. In a reverse, that is, the head will be up and legs will be down, and suppose delivery becomes difficult, then at the time also very beautiful mantras are there in our Vedas, which sitting in the olden days, a separate room would be allotted to that girl, and in that labor room, as we say, her mother or mantrasani, we used to say, like nurse, they take care of her. At that time, either her father or father-in-law or even husband, if he knows anybody, they can sit outside the room and they used to chant certain mantras. By listening to that mantras, the very sound itself used to make the baby turn to normal position and normal delivery occurs. It really occurred it in several cases. Even my mother said, my brother, elder brother, that was the case. And my mother's father, he is Subramanya Swami Upasaka. He recited the mantras and normal delivery occurred, and my brother was born at that time. So we must have that respect and honor and pranama to all the Vedic mantras and our elders, Maharshis. So all these three, this Garbhadana, Pumsavana, Simanta, all these three are to be performed before the birth of a child for the health and longevity of the mother, father, and the baby to be born, and after taking birth also the parents should bless the child to come out carefully without any hindrance, either to mother or the baby. Now, Jata Karma. So, this Jata Karma is the first one. A fourth one, this itself, the word itself says Jata and Karma. Two words together is one word. So, Jata means born. Jana, Ja, to take birth. Ja means to take birth. Jayate, we say. Karma means work, actions done. So, the word Jata is formed from Ja, I said. So, Taprichaya is added to that root. And then it became Jata. Jata Karma is the first ritual done to the child after its birth. So it is the first ritual which brings the newly born child intact with human life. So it is to be performed to reduce the, it is normally performed to reduce the risk of swallowing the amniotic, some fluids, as we say, Umaniru or something in our Telugu we say. So mostly the babies would be swallowing a little at least. So that the defect of drinking that water should be removed. So for the sake of that, this Jata Karma is celebrated. And also this process increases the longevity and intelligence and luster of the child also. The rituals Pumsavana and Simanta are performed with the intention that delivery should be normal and the baby should be born not with normal delivery easily. But sometimes the baby in the womb turns crosswise or puts intestine over the neck and all. At that time, the mantras of the Vedas, they have the power. And not only the mantras, there are certain procedures which our elders, they used to follow. So nowadays, of course, there is no necessary, but at that time they used to follow that. So many sort of methods are given, which should be, that is the stem of sunflower, Suryakanta Pushpa, as we say, that should be grinded and that should be applied. Then the delivery becomes normal, even that is there. In our Shastras only it is given. So, okay, now depending upon that, now when the child is coming out of from the mother, coming onto the earth, then when the head comes out first and the nose of the child becomes visible, then that time should be noted down as the birth time of that child. So depending upon the exact time of birth time of the child, the Jataka Chakra of the baby would be written by the astrologers. If that time differs, automatically the Jataka Chakra also differs. Then the result will not be as they see and feel, because the time is changed. So exactly the moment when the nose is seen, immediately whoever are there, they should inform elders, the mother, father, grandparents, or somebody to note down. Immediately they have to note down that time, minutes, seconds and all. So as soon as the baby is born, then immediately the navel cord is cut, and then the child comes into the lap of the mother. Till that time, that connection was there to the mother and baby. Now that connection is now separated, and that umbilical cord, as we say, that is connected with the mother, and through that cord only the baby used to get food, the mother which the mother ate, and so the baby used to get strength and grow. Now it becomes normal. So when that is removed, thus the umbilical cord, as we say, it got the power to reduce the future defects or illnesses. Suppose anything occur to the baby, then that itself is a great medicine that can be utilized as the medicine to cure that baby. That is why in the olden days, they used to keep that cord intact in a little bigger sized amulet, as we say, tayattu, made with either silver or copper. So normally with silver only, even we at present also we are following this method. But nowadays there are so many banks have come, and particularly they charge money and preserve them. Whenever any necessity comes and parents apply, they immediately give the cord which they are taking care of. But that used to they take thousands of money. But when it is kept ready on the body itself, suppose any necessity comes, immediately they can utilize that. Now, from the moment the baby's navel cord is cut, then immediately the jata ashaucha, impurity of birth, as we say, occurs to the parents. Because at that time, the baby and the mother also, the body would be very delicate and resistance would be very less in them. So any sort of infections may afflict them. So they used to take a lot of care for the newly born baby till 3 months come to the baby, and to the mother also, child and mother both. And then on the 11th day, we do this snana, purity snana, as we say, the Mangala snana. Until that time, for 10 days, this jata asaucha would be there. But this is an auspicious asaucha only. And after 11th day, when this Mangala Snana is done to the baby first and then to the mother next, that Jata Socha would be completely over, and all that room and atmosphere that would be clean. And in the olden days, they used to clean that with cow dung, because that got a very great medicinal power, which kills the insects and never allows the insects to come at all to that place. Then before the commencement of Jata Shocha itself, even before the birth of the child, intending the welfare of the child and mother, child mostly, the development and of the dynasty, growth of the dynasty, the father should give Dashadanas or Dwadashadanas or Shodasadanas as per the capacity to the Vardi people, to Brahmins, Khana parties, Veda Pandits, they should give. And also Godana should be done, because Godana, when once done, that is equal to Bhudana also, they say. All gods will be pleased by doing this Godana to a worthy person who takes care of the cow and calf lifelong. So Godana and Dhanadhanyas, etc. they give to Sadbrahmanas. Then Sri Krishna Paramatma, when Sri Krishna Paramatma was born, then Vasudeva, on seeing the face of the child, that wonderful boy, as the Srimad Bhagavatam says, immediately he got haripulated. He became very happy. He merged in the bliss, in fact. But at that time, Vasudeva and they are in the jail, all of us know. So Devaki Devi and Vasudeva, they are not independent at that time to do any work. So mentally, Manasika, he did Sachela Snana, Manasika, and also he donated 10,000 cows, that is this holy cows along with calves, to Brahmins, and thought in his mind that when he becomes free from these clutches and gets independence, then he will donate personally. So then at Repalle, actually when Nanda Maharaja heard that he got his son, this child Sri Krishna Paramatma, then immediately he took holy bath with the same dress. Sachela Snana they must do. So they did Sachela Snana and they became very pure and wore the new garments, of course, pious silk cloths. He did Swasti Punyaha Vachana, and then he donated he donated 2 lakhs of milky cows with calves, donated them along with the calves, decorating them with gold hoops and all. So that is the affection and love he got for his son. So Shastra says, as soon as the father hears about the birth of a child, male or female, of course, should immediately do Sachela Snana. Putre jate pitu snanam sachelastu vidhiyate yavanna pijjate nalam tavat na apnoti sutakam chinne nale tata paschat sutakastu vidhiyate. So Apastamba Gruhya Sutra say that as soon as the son is born, the father can see the face of the son. By seeing the face of the son, he would be released from Pitru Runa. So his ancestors and forefathers, they become very happy because the line is continuing and they would be getting these tarpanas, everything, whatever they do at the time of Sraddha Karmas and all. So, Jatamatre tu Kumarasya Mukhamapi Avalokayet. Runad Vimuchyate Pita Putrasya Mukha Darshana, says the Shastra. So the healthy baby would be born to the children, that is to the mother and father, when they aspire sincerely and take care of the health and with all care and all, and with the blessings of Paramatma. So at the time of this Jata Karma, they have to worship their Ishtadevatas, Kuladevatas. They should bow down and take the blessings of elders. And also sometimes Balagrahas would be attracting the children. So that should not be. So to prevent them also, they do certain procedures. So all these are, so many rituals are there, Jata Karma and all, but we'll do it only lightly. Because in detail, of course, all of you, if you are interested, you can take the books and read. A lot of matter is there in connection with all these proceedings and how we have to do all these and all. So now, of course, on the 11th day onwards, till 11th day, actually, we in our custom, the baby, newly born baby, new clothes we will not put on to that baby. Only the baby would be wrapped in a nice old clothes only, which are used by either mother's mother or father's mother, Nainamma, Mama, as we say, or Menamama, something that's new, neat, clean clothes, because their blessings would be there to the child. So if there is any defect in the birth star sometimes, then definitely nakshatra japas they have to do. Suppose the nakshatra is Jyeshta, then and Jyeshta Putra, then the Shastra says that Gundala Shanti is to be done. That is nakshatra japa they have to do. They have to do Navagrah Homas, Japas, Danas, then Annadana. is prescribed a lot mostly. By doing annadana, these defects would be removed, and also by giving puri dakshinas to the priests and Brahmins, if they become very happy and bless the parents and the child, half of the defects would be removed. So dakshina should be given after doing all these yajnas, yagas and all. So these are a great procedure is there for doing this jata karma also. Now namakarana samskara, naming ceremony, cradle ceremony, as we say, balasare or barasala. Sometimes we reverse the words and use. So many names are there actually. Namakarana Mahotsava Samskara is very important one, because in fact there is no name at all to Jiva. How can a Jiva be named? Are the parents giving name to the Upadhi or to the Jiva? In fact, we have to say only to the Upadhi only, but the Jiva is also there. Chidabhasa, as we say in our Vedanta. So the name is very essential. When the name is not there, how to identify, how to call them, how can they survive in this world and do so many works. So when the child is born, it will not have normally any name till the parents put the name, give the name to them by Namakarana Samskara. Till that time, the child would be called as the baby of that mother mostly, because mother gives birth to the child. So till that time, care of mother. Then does either mother's or father's name also, suppose relatives, they call as the son or daughter of this person, father's name they mention. So the baby must have a befitting name, worthy to her, or that is befitting to their intentions. Of course, mother and father, with the advice of elders, they put the name, but whatever name they keep, that name should be the name of God, and also the name must have a good meaning, and the baby should grow as per befitting to the meaning of the name given to him or her. So that depends upon the fate. Of course, we can say fate in the sense the result of the works we do, the samskaras, and also the way the child is brought up. So after growing, the baby should get very good name and fame. The name stands forever, even though the person goes Kalidasa, we say Bharavi, Bhavaputi, so great, Rabindranath Tagore, as we say, because though they left the body, Adi Shankara Bhagavat Pada, forever we think of their names and bow down to them. So the name is very important for the child to get very good name and fame for her or him. And also at the time of admissions in the school, for doing any works, when they get any job, for all, when they purchase any land or sell something, for everything, the name is very essential, not only for them. These are all laukika prayojanas, as we can say. Every day when we do Nitya Puja, we have to tell our name. So for doing Nitya Pujas, Naimittika Pujas, or whatever may be, Yajna Yagadi Kratus and all, then also Yajamani's name, and then even Pravarash is essential to say. So the name is very essential. So this Namakarana Mahotsava, we say. This is a great Utsava, a sort of festival. So by naming the child gets longevity, long life, and he gets yashes and also Aishwarya, money. So it is very, very nice and important ritual, we can say. Actually, why parents name the children? The Shastra says it is not for the sake of the child, but for the benefit of mother and father, for the parents to get moksha, to get salvation. They name their children. Why? Because they are giving the example of Ajamila. And so many other stories also are there, because mostly when mother and father, when they grow, of course, after 100 years also, the person has to leave the body, go away and die. At the time of death, definitely whether they remember anything or not, they remember their children only. They call children by their names. So when their names are the names of gods, then it means that they are calling God. So, yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajantyante kalebaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavitaha, as says Gita. Sri Krishna Paramatma said. So at the time of leaving the body, if we think of Paramatma's name, automatically Paramatma will come and all our sins would be completely vanished, destroyed, and God gives a chance to get liberated. So thinking of whom and what in the last moments one leaves the body. If he has the feeling of either enjoyment or something, this or that, he will take birth accordingly in the next birth. So one, while thinking the name of Bhagavan as Shiva, Rama, Krishna, some Vishnu, Devata's name, Jagannatha, then the person leaves the body, suppose, then that God, that divinity, that power would take care of them. If they think of any that pet animals or something, they will take birth as that. Jadabharata story is also there. So Jadabharata died while thinking. He is a great sage. Actually, he is in a sort of Jivan Mukta sthiti till that time, but he has slipped down from that state because a sort of moha took place. He took care of, he started to nourish, taking care of a newly born deer, because a deer gave birth to a baby deer and that mother died. So he thought that there is no one to take care of that. Of course, sympathy and anukampa, bhuta anukampa is okay. That is divine quality only. He should take care of that. But his mind indulged in that, and he thought that baby deer to be almost equal to his own son, like that. So out of that infatuation, that is in the sense moha aham mama, next birth he was born as a deer, but because throughout the life he is a great sadhaka, a great tapasvi, so he remembered his past. And during that period, though he was born as the deer, he did not mingle with others. He just spent on meditating Lord Vishnu. And in the next birth again, he was born as a Brahmin boy in a very noble scholar's Pandit's family. And then he got liberated after that. That is the story of Jadabharata. Then this Ajamila is a very great story. Even he is born to a very noble, great mother, father, that is Pandits and all, and he got married. He is a very great scholar. He respected all gurus and all. He got married to a chaste woman and they led very happy married life. Even then, due to his bad luck and somehow due to his bad ill fate, he happened to fall in the moha of a lady. So he married her, leaving mother, father, and Dharmapatni. And there he got so many children. But by his fortune is he kept his last son's name as Narayana. Then when he is on deathbed, almost about to die, he happened, because of his previous dharmika deeds, he got the chance of seeing, he saw the Yama Duta standing in front of him. They are ready to take his life from him and to go to Yamasadana. Then at that time, out of fear and out of moha and prema, he called very loudly, Narayana, Narayana, please come. So he called actually his son. Even then, Vishnu Dutas came there. They asked Yamadutas to leave that place and go away. Then the Yamadutas left that place, and immediately even the Vishnu Dutas also disappeared. Then, but this Sajamila, he did not die yet. Then he repented. He thought that when once I called my son by name Narayana, Narayana Dutas came and gave me a chance. So if I throughout my life led the dharmika life, doing meditation and thinking bhajana of Rama or Sriman Narayana, how great it would have been. Then with remorse and paschatapa, he prayed Paramatma, Lord Vishnu, to give him a chance. in this life itself to get liberated, to do prayaschitta. And God gave him span of life. Slowly he was cured. Then when his health became well, he left his wife and children and he went into forest and started to lead a very holy life. And he did penance, he did meditation and all. Finally, he got liberated. He got mukti. He got mukti because of his sincerity and his repentance, and also due to the previous vasanas. Previously, for several years, he was very righteous and all. So this could happen in his case. So now we should know how this method of naming is to be done. Actually, we call Paramatma as Parabrahman. Brahman, Brumh Vistarane means that power, that immensible, transcendental, immanent power which is spreading all over the universe, which is the substratum, that is called as Parabrahman. That Parabrahma Shakti itself is visible in the form of this world and all these gods and all. And Prajapati Brahmadeva was the first creator from Nirguna Brahma, we can say. So this Brahmadeva, Trimurtis are created by the wish of Paramatma. Then Brahmadeva's duty is to do Srishtikarya and all. So when this Chaturmukha Brahmadeva started his work of creating, that is creation, he got so many hindrances. He prayed God and then all the hindrances have gone. Then a sort of wonderful super power appeared in front of him. While watching that wonderful power appeared with much luster, and it itself got divided into 8 parts. And all those 8 parts became visible as gods, as divine, with luster, with form and all, like us only. So Brahmadeva named those 8 persons as Rudra, Sharva, Pasupati, Ugra, Ashati, Bhava, Mahadeva, and Ishana. That is, that Parabrahman himself assumed Nama and Rupas and appeared in 8 forms. And those 8 forms are named by Brahmadeva for the first time. That is the naming. So these 8 names are called as the original 8 Vishwarupas, the original octaves, we say. So names bring very good fortune to all living beings. So this Jatakarma, etc., all would be over, and then this Namakarana. So even this Namakarana, Dharma Shastra says, Ayur Varchophi Vruddhischa Siddhir Vyavakrutes Tatha Namakarma Phalantu Etad Samuttishtam Manishiphihi. So this should be done. These are all the results, and so many points are there, but in 1 or 2 minutes, just I want to finish it off, because it is a very lengthy process. And of course, all of you know naming. All of you might have seen also naming the children, so you can know the procedure. Then Sapha Satpurushamache Nama Prakatana Sichertham Anumatim Prarthayami. Thus the father prays, who are all present there, they permit him. Then the priest, of course, he gives Masanama as per the month during which the baby is born. Then Nakshatra Nama as per the nakshatra in which the child is born. And then Vyavahara Nama would be suggested by the parents, mother, father and all. And all these letters, in fact, they are divine. They got the governing gods, Adhisthana Devatas. They got colors. They got magical spiritual powers also. The names got such power. So the name should be kept to the child. And in our Panchangas, they have given, as per the nakshatra, which name is to be given, and the name with which letter the name has to start and all. Thus, there are 27 stars. So each star got 4 padas. So 108 padas. Every human being is born out of all these 108 padas only. That is why we do Ashtottara Shatanama Puja to all the gods also. So Margasirshe cha Vagdevi Pushe Padmavati Tatha Sridevi Chapi Savitri Bhumihi Kalyaniki Tatha Satyabhama Punyavati Rupavati Indumati Api Chandravati cha Lakshmi cha Sri Nama Karaneshu cha. These are the names of the girls, babies. When suppose the boy child, while naming the boy, the names are Krishnaha, Anantaha, Achyutaha, Chakri, Vaikuntotha, Janardanaha, Upendraha, Yajnapurusho, Vasudevas, Tatha, Harihi, Yogishaha, Pundarikaksho, Masanamani, Anukrama. These are the 12 names for 12 months for the boy, and in which month the boy is born, the name is to be given. So by knowing the Nakshatra Nama and Masanama, we can know during which masa the child is born and what is his nakshatra. That is how our elders arranged. We can see the scientific reason how rationally they have kept all these things. So this Namakarana Samskara would be mostly performed on the 11th day or 21st day. If could not be celebrated, then on any auspicious day, seeing the proper nakshatra for father, mother, and the child mostly. Then all these Namakarana would be the process, of course, so I'm not telling. But we have to worship all the Ganapati first, then Kuladevatas, Ishtadevatas and all. And then these 8 Shivamurtis must be worshipped. Then in a very big plate, silver plate, we pour rice, and that should be parted into 3 parts by drawing 2 lines. Then Masanama and Nakshatra Nama are written in first and second lines. Then third one, Vyavahara Nama. Then after writing all this, the father has to tell the name 3 times. All these Masanama, Nakshatra Nama and Vyavahara Nama, and bless the child at saying in the right ear of the baby. Then when the father says, the mother also has to say, and then grandparents, that is father's mother, father have to tell. Then all elders also they say, and then they bless the child. For each time while telling the Nakshatra Nama, they say Nakshatra, the name they have to mention and say Nakshatra Nama si Srihi, and then bless the child. Masanama also, certain name, and then Masanama asi Srihi, like that they have to bless, and then Vyavahara Nama also similarly they must say Vyavahara Nama si Srihi, and then Supam, like that they have to bless the child. Na Masanamam Trutva, Nakshatra Namam Trutva, Vyavahara Nama, not Namam, Nama Namani, Namni Namani we say. So Masanama Trutva, Nakshatra Nama Trutva, Vyavahara Nama Trutva, Setaishman Bhava, Setaishmati Bhava, Varthasva, like that the mother, father, elders, even priests have to bless the child. So it is known from the Dharma Shastras written by our sages like Gautama Maharshi, Bharadwaja Maharshi, Kanva Maharshi, etc. So many sages, that the letters of the names of the boys should be even of even number, and girls' name should be of odd numbers. Even then, of course, some nowadays people are not so particular of this. So these Rudra, Sharva, Pashupati, Ugra, Ashati, Bhava, Mahadeva and Ishana, they must be definitely worshipped with all Shodasa Upacharas, and later even the Nakshatra Nama, Masanama and Vyavahar Nama. Even these Namas have to be worshipped with all Shodasa Upacharas, and Harati should be given. The child should be blessed by them. And then the father has to once again do pranama to all people saying Sapayai Namaha. So, and then he announces these nama, all these namas to the public. Then the father has to take the child into his lap, and then embracing the child, the father has to say, Angad Angad Samphavasi Hrudayad Apijayase Atma Vai Putra Namasi Tvam Jiva Saradasyatam. So thus the father has to bless the child. So everybody, then they bless, and the priest blesses the mother, father, child, and everybody also. Then our Shastra says that one should never utter his own name or his Atmanama, Guru Nama, Namati Krupanasyacha, Shreyas Kamo na Grupniyad, Jestapatya Kalatrayok. So one should never say directly his name while introducing himself to others. We should say, I am the son of so and so. Like Sri Ramachandra used to say, I am Dasarathi, the son of Dasharatha. So after completing this Namakarana Mahotsava, they put the child in the cradle, and that is, of course, a sort of Vedukan ceremony. Then onwards, the child would be kept in the cradle and swing so that the child can get happy. He can sleep happily. So this is about this. And then 5 samskaras we could complete today. Tomorrow also we must complete 5 samskaras. Then Upanayana takes 1 day, then Samavartana, then marriage and all. They are very bigger ones. So each 1 day. Swasti for today. Thank you.
ధన్యవాదములండి. Any questions? Okay, Saugandhi ji, please chant Prarthana.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरि ओम्.
Okay, ధన్యవాదములు. Now let us recite national anthem. जनगणमनाधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा, विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधितरंगा, तव शुभ नामे जागे, तव शुभाशिष मागे, गाये तव जय गाथा। जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता, जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय।
Jai Hind.